Alright, for one of the MOS features, we have Chancy Wigglestove playing against Dale. So Chansy will be piloting his Metalfoes deck, so different from his regional deck back then, which was ABCs, and Ryan will be playing ABCs. So if you guys don't know Chancy Wigglestove, he recently did top YCS Anaheim, top 32 I believe, and Ryan was MOS1's previous champion, as well as top 8 for both MOS2 and 3. So Chansy is sporting the pink sleeve on the left side on the white mat, and Ryan using the purple sleeves on the black side. Alright, let's do this. This is of course during Swiss, and both players are very strong players, and right now just explaining to them how to play at this table, just so that we can give you the best coverage possible. So Ryan will be going first, starting off with an upstart, boosting Chansy to 9,000. Going to go with Union Hanger, so pretty decent start right off the bat. Union Hanger is definitely one of those cards you want to open as an ABC player. Of course, with the new Metalfoes stuff, they definitely gained a lot of utility from Mithrilium, the new fusion card, Bismaga, as well as Alkahest. So, Gold Gadget summons out the Assault Core A, and then equips into a B from the Union Hanger. Overlay the two together, so basically the ABC play is going to the Tsukuyomi to ABC. So the Buster Drake will now search the Crush Wyvern, probably, if you didn't have it already. So there's the Crush Wyvern that was searched. The Glare is strong in this one, but we know what he searched anyway. Sets whatever he can set, and now he detaches his A Assault Core to send the C Crush Wyvern to draw 2 cards. This way he doesn't have to lose as many cards. Definitely ABC Dragon Buster is coming out. There's no point setting this whole grave up without dropping the big boss monster. But he's gonna go with Pot of Desires first, banishing the top 10 cards of his deck, drawing 2 cards. Now this is a pretty smart play, I suppose. Most people should not blindly use their Pot of Desires without establishing their combo first, because even if he banishes his ABC pieces now, it is not as bad, I would say, because you can obviously banish the 3 pieces now, and then you can always recycle the same 3 pieces over and over again. So there's the ABC Dragon Buster. 3 back row, 3 card in hand, 3 back row. That's pretty scary stuff. Alright, now Chansy, if you guys have OCD, you guys are gonna get a little annoyed, but this is how Chansy plays. He plays his cards upside down, so you can read it whenever. You know, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty smart. Your opponent can read the card whenever they want. Don't have to turn the cards around. That's how he plays, and you'll know it's Chansy when he does it. I've known a couple other players that started to mimic what Chansy does on this. I'm not sure if he's the one that came up with it, but we do know that he's the one that does it. I guess most known for doing this. So I do see that he has a Bunbuku in hand. So normal summon the Bunbuku. I'm guessing he's gonna go for the search for the Magic Spectre Kirin. Kirin definitely is one of the best cards against this ABC matchup. For one, it cannot be targeted, which is huge because most ABC cards require targeting. And not just ABC cards, but most of their utility in the extra deck too will require targeting. So 9k to 8k so far. Is that a scale, or I believe that's yeah, that is a scale. That is a pendulum scale of silvered. Any response to the silvered? On Ryan's side, I don't know if he's gonna respond to this. He could. No, Chansy did gain that +1 from the Magic Spectre Kirin. Kirin is a scale 2 after all, so does he really need that silvered? I don't know, but he probably don't want to put the Kirin on scale unless he has to. So yeah, he's banishing out the scale with ABC's effect. And he's gonna tag out right now. So it's actually pretty smart to tag out right now, because why would you want to leave your ABC sitting there for no apparent reason? So he's putting the Assault Core in attack mode and the B and the C in defense mode. Union Hanger will activate, and he has to target one of his monsters on his field. Well, if he's going to go with A, clearly he targeted the other C. That's actually not bad because... Actually, no, that's pretty smart too because C has 2000 defense and equipped to an A, the Magic Spectre Kieran cannot bounce that back into his hand. In other words, and also cannot run it over too. So going to the painful decision is going to send one normal monster into the graveyard and to add another copy of the same thing. So Silvered, I believe, is going to be added back to hand. So that's all 3 copies of Silvered from Chansey. Okay. He's going to put Silvered onto the scale once again. Now, any response from Ryan? The thing about scary about ABC is that because they always set so much back row, you can't really tell which is a bluff and which ones aren't. Mainly because Tsukuyomi forces you to set them. Well, unless you want to lose all your cards, so that's up to you. Oh, it pops the Banbuku. I search a Metalfoes fusion. Now, Chansey is still in a bit of a tight spot because the back row does provide Ryan with a lot of protection and perhaps counter towards what Chansey wants to do. Metalfoes does want to go first after all. Going to Pot of Desires, alright, both players 1 pot each, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, alright, and then draw 2 cards. Always inspect what you have banished, because that's quite important. Because he did search his Metalfoes Fusion, he's not going to get punished, because losing Metalfoes Fusion basically shuts off an entire line of play, and you don't want to go through that. Now, did he actually get punished from his Pot of Desires? So activating Eccentric Archfiend. So they have a scale 7 and a scale 1. Pendulum Summon is absolutely possible, but if there's a Solemn in the background, that would suck a lot. Is that Twin Twister? No, that is Magnet Reverse, which allows him to special summon I guess a rock or machine type monster that cannot be normal summoned or set. So he gets back his Dragon Buster. But you get Max Seed. Buster's back to banish another card, hitting off the Eccentric Archfiend. I don't think Chansey can establish a Pendulum Summon at this point. He needs the Pendulum Summon. He already normal summoned the Banbuku. There's a Rescue Rabbit in his hand that he cannot use. He can play his Fusion, but if he fuses, he's not going anywhere far with that. He's forced to fuse anyway. But Vanity's Emptiness gets dropped down, and Chansey just scoops this one up. There's no way to play out of this. And game 1 goes to Ryan. Alright, game 2. So Ryan's probably going to be going second. Chansey is going to be going first. He did declare that this, when they claim that this format is much more die rolling. I do agree with that. Going first does give you quite a bit more advantage. These boards are just getting a bit more ridiculous. Metalfoes already had a pretty ridiculous board before, but now with Mithrilium, they got a lot more utility to play with. Chansey is probably going to be setting up his board. See how he does. I'm not sure if Chansey did play Metalfoes at YCS Anaheim, but if he did, it would be similar to this. Ooh, carefully considering his plays. The thing about ABCs is that you know that your opponent is going to side stuff like System Down and not just that. Okay, so opening with a Luster, popping, is that a Silvered or a Steelin? I think it's a Silvered. We'll see when he drops the card down onto the table. So it was a Silvered. Pretty good stuff. Setting up the extra deck in the pendulum for the pendulums. Okay, Metalfoes Volflame will pop the Luster. Searching for a combination. Metalfoes combination. The Eccentric Archfiend will now pop the combination to get a free search. Pretty commonplace. So going to Bismaga. Bismaga pops the Volflame. So the extra deck is getting quite set up right now. Which fusion? Is he going to go with any of the fusions? The full Metalfoe fusion or the regular fusion? Regular fusion. So Metalfoe fusion has been sent onto the field from Bismaga's effect. And silvered. Special summon. Sorry, pendulum summon. Once the skill has been fully established. So Volflame and Eccentric Archfiend, Luster, Silvered, all onto the field right now. With a fusion available, is he going to start going into fusions? So fusing the Silvered with... What are you going to fuse it with? Are you going to make a Mithrilium or are you going to make an Alcahest? Full Metalfoe Alcahest. Play on, I guess, there's some reference to Full Metal Alchemist to some degree. Now, if he does go into Mithrilium, he doesn't really gain anything from that, I suppose. There's nothing to bounce, so there's nothing really anything to shuffle back either. So he's going to take the Eccentric Archfiend plus the Silvered. So he is going to go into the Mithrilium. Well, the Metalfoe fusion will probably be shuffled back into the deck, just for the additional draw. Unless he plans on bouncing a card back. This board does not look overly threatening at this point in time. 2400 damage from the Volflame, 1850 from the Luster and Mithrilium is 26. So pop the scale. Now Chansy mentioned that when you play Bismaga, make sure that he is the second last guy you go for. And then you pendulum summon and then you pop him to maximize the advantage with the card. Oh, so he is using Mithrilium to bounce back his scale. Instead of using Metalfoe Fusion's effect to draw an additional card, he went with Mithrilium to bounce a card back. So now he's popped the Luster from the second activation of the Silvered. It's fusing again! I did not check what he did set. I'm guessing that is a full Metalfoe fusion. Most of these builds are running less and less counter because counter is pretty easy to predict, but we'll see what's happening here. So he's fusing once again. Orichalc? Is he gonna go with an Orichalc? Although Orichalc wouldn't be too bad, I would say. Orichalc does give him a chance to pop one of Ryan's cards on Ryan's turn, especially with the full Metalfoe fusion. And now he can actually bounce, shuffle back the Metalfoe fusion to draw the extra card. Yes, and when Mithrilium is sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon out one of your Metalfoe monsters. Pretty smart play. This full Metalfoe fusion stuff is definitely giving the Metalfoe deck a bit more utility on your opponent's turn. Before it was a bit too passive, with only counter being the only trap that's really viable. Now we can see that you can actually extend your play a bit further and definitely be a bit more annoying to your opponent. So we now just saw a Pot of Desires played with 10 cards banished. Let's hope the Chansey did not get punished for that, because he did shuffle in his Metalfoe fusion. If that got banished now, that's gonna suck a little. Before, the deck depended on, you know, going into Zolkin or using Gofus. Gofus are really nice. I'm pretty sure Gofus are still in the deck, but you don't have to rely on opening with it as much. Okay, end phase search with the Bismaga. He is gonna add a Volflame. See, with Pot of Desires, most decks become very thin right after turn 1 if you open with a card. Now Ryan, let's see what he's going to do to the board. There's no Ghost Cherries or anything. Open turn Pot of Desires. That is a bit of a gamble because Well, you don't know where you're going to lose, you don't know what you're going to go with. Are you sure the cards that you gain aren't going to be useless? There's a lot to consider, especially opening a pot of desires like that. Especially like, if you open into like terraformings, but you banish all your field spells, it's going to suck a little. But he, let's see what he opened up. He has his field spell. He has, is that Twin Twister? I think he has a Twin Twister in his hand, which allows him to clear the 2 back row if he really needs to. But then I could be wrong. They could be not a Twin Twister, and now Ryan has to think about it. But even if it is, how is he going to get out of this? He has the field spell. He can play the field spell. But the field spell most likely will not, I guess, successfully activate. That definitely looks like a Twin Twister in Ryan's hand right now. Is Ryan going to go into the Twin Twister and then just go way off? It's actually going to be a bit difficult because if Chansey fuses into an Alcahest, he can start stealing Ryan's monsters and start interrupting combos. So Twin Twister has been played. Normally, this would look very, very bad for the Metalfoes player, but why Ryan's giving the back row a lot of respect. There's technically 3 targets on the board, so yeah, he's gonna take out the back row because the back row is a bit scary. Well, he knows one of the cards. One of the cards is public knowledge, or if not both. Or does he want to fuse? This way it minimizes the amount of cards he would have to lose from the Orichalc being sent to the graveyard. So he's chaining the full Metalfoes fusion. He's fusing the Volflame in his hand with the Bismaga into full Metalfoes Alcahest. And combination of set, and the combination will be going off once again. But into what? What is he going to search? Now, Alcahest and the Orichalc definitely is a bit more annoying in terms of the fusion monsters because they both have effects that can trigger or activate during your opponent's turn. So is adding another Bismaga into hand. Bismaga definitely one of the better additions in Invasion Vengeance. So Union Hanger has been activated. Ryan has a 1, 2, 3, 4 card hand, about to go into his 5th card on the Union Hanger search. But this is still very difficult because whatever monster that Ryan summons out, it is going to be stolen by Alcahest. Now is he going into Silver Gadget? Summoning out the Buster Drake. Alcahest's effect steals the Buster Drake and basically equips it onto himself. Overall, just interrupting the Union Hanger from doing any kind of equip play. And Ryan has to pass turn. See, this is the kind of interruption that we can't really handle. It's like having a Rafflesia on the board. If your monster or your ABC monsters, A, B, or C monster, gets interrupted, the whole combo just falls apart. And that's why Alcahest is so good. Now remember that Alcahest, whatever that's equipped to him, can be fused away as a fusion material. So Bismaga has been played onto the scale. Are we going to have a Pendulum summon right now? Definitely worth considering. 2 spell cards in Chancy's hand, can't really make out what it is. But Bismaga will be popping the Silvered. Silvered has been popped. I guess we'll be getting a fusion or of some sort. Yeah, full Metalfoes fusion. Sorry, regular Metalfoes fusion. The back, are those MSTs? I can't even tell. It is an MST. MST in the back row. Pops a pot of acquisitiveness. Must be a side-in card.
MOS players, we have a missing iPhone 5 if you're table 10. So,
oh, apparently there's an announcement about missing iPhone. It's about to be returned to them. Okay, well, what's going on? Are we gonna see some fusion action here? If you fuse the Alcahest with the Buster Drake, the Buster Drake will be getting a search. I don't think you want that. Unless, of course, you can focus on getting an OTK right now, then absolutely it's worth it. But first off, that Silver Gadget must die, because the Silver Gadget will provide a very strong wall if played properly. There's another MST. So if he goes into another fusion, I think he's gonna go with the Mithrilium. He does go with the Mithrilium, which will give Ryan the search. Oh. He's summoning an Orichalc. An Orichalc's effect that was fused away will pop the Union Hanger, which is good, which is actually really big, especially if Ryan is able to perform any kind of summoning. Ryan will be searching an ASL core from the Buster Drake that just went into the graveyard. Using Metalfoes Fusion's effect, shuffling back in to draw an additional card. This card's really good. A lot of decks, even if they don't run any kind of Metalfoes, they use it as a fodder so that they can just dump it into the graveyard and just use it as an extra draw. So it's a pretty common thing to see in some decks these days. Are we getting a Pendulum Summon? Oh, a really big Pendulum Summon. 17, 18, 24, 17... and a 2000, yeah, that's definitely a game. And a Metalfoes Fusion. Pop from the Silvered. So he's gonna bounce back the Gadget. And I believe he's gonna fuse off one of his Silvereds, because is he a little short on damage? I don't think he is, though, even with that. Oh, and I don't think he has performed a normal summon, so he's just gonna normal summon it back onto the field. And basically attack with everything here. This is game! Chansey just went with a lethal play, calculated the play very carefully, and achieved lethal, and basically took game. So both these games are basically 2-3 turns in, and the game was set. So I guess now we're gonna go into game 3. So this is for all the marbles, this is for the match. Yeah, I guess it does make sense for people to say, like, yeah, after you get your setup, if you can kill your opponent right after, it's all good. So Ryan is now opening with a Pot of Desires in game 3, banishing 10 cards. It's usually not a good sign when you're forced to play Pot of Desires right from the get-go. It actually is a bit of a tell that your hand, you don't have all your combo pieces to go off. You can't play this later to, secure your pieces first. So that's something that people should bear in mind. But if you get lucky, you can establish a full combo hand without banishing your key pieces. And I believe he got into Union Hanger. Union Hanger is going down, so we are going to get some ABC searching action. What is he going to search for? Common thing that most people search for is C into B. You want to say into means the Union Hanger will be attaching a B onto a C. There is a Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion, definitely one of the more powerful cards to extend your combo even further. Even if you do not open the best possible hand, it is A-OK. I believe that's an ASL core. Yeah, it is an ASL core being searched. That area has a bit too much glare. I do apologize. So there's the C. It's going to go into a B. It's actually a really good play, especially going into game 2 and 3, because you cannot get system down through this. Although A lot of people would suggest not to pre-tag anymore from system down. A lot of people actually try Oasis of Dragon Souls, which is a really good out against system down. But again, using a B Buster Drake equipped onto your monster will also prevent system down from, you know, really killing you. And most ABC players must know that if you do get Ghost Cherried, right now you do have Pot of Acquisitiveness, so you can kind of counter it through that. And I think Pot of Acquisitiveness made it so that you don't need to run the Cherry as much, because Cherries, like Ghost, Reaper, Winter Cherries, forces you to lose a bit of tempo and you lose one card in hand. So if they shift their playstyle to be much more aggressive, it's hard to come back still. Now, these games, there haven't been like whoever that got a successful excuse me, a successful battle phase, they usually win. So 3 back row on Ryan's side. Chansey opening with the Scale Eccentric Archfiend. Sets 1. 2 spells in hand. I think there's a Pot of Desires. He's gonna go pop his own card, probably a Metalfoes combination. Gonna get a search. What I'm really scared of right now for Chansey is if Ryan has a Twin Twister in the back. That is probably one of the scariest things to see. Because if he establishes his full scale and tries to go off, the Twin Twister will cost him quite a bit. And he doesn't exactly have a lot of resources because he did use the Eccentric Archfiend to pop the combination, which means he doesn't have all the pieces he needs. Scaling a Silvered and a Bismaga. Full Metalfoes Bismaga. Pendulum summoning out the Eccentric Archfiend, so no monsters available in Chansey's side. Ooh, this is gonna be a bit of a tough one. So Eccentric could technically pop the Crushed Wyvern, but what's the point in that? That's actually really bad if he does do that. Because I see Ryan's hand, he does have a target for Crushed Wyvern to summon out, and then that would trigger off the Union Hanger. So that's definitely not the route that he's gonna want to go into. Guess he might just use it as a body to chump block a few hits, perhaps. This almost feels like a brick hand on Chansey's side. But it might just be because of the back row pressure that Ryan has put onto the board, which makes it really hard for Chansey to play. Well, luckily these past 2 games I actually don't have to worry about life points too much because they've basically just been OTKs back to back. Or like unbreakable board situations causing the scoop phase, as you may say. Now, if you were in Chansey's shoes, what would you do? There's a cute little Chansey token on the top, the Pokemon Chansey. Chansey, I think he's feeling a bit stuck and very limited on his plays. He's trying to, because it is actually a good thing if you can try to find a way to prolong the game as long, as much as possible, just so that you could potentially get an out. And if your opponent doesn't catch up on this, you could, turn the whole game around and steal the game from, under their noses. So he's gonna pop the Bismaga to search a Metalfoes Fusion. Okay, so 3 spells in Chansey's hand. Maybe I should call him Squiddy. So Squiddy has 3 back row. Or sorry, 3 cards in hand. Sets another card. And Bismaga effect during end phase will be able to give him a search of a Metalfoes card. What is he going to search into? This is actually not very good for Chansey because he does not have a very strong board established. And we know that ABC is probably going to come out. So if none of those back rows can interrupt the play, then we're going to see a big shift in momentum favoring Ryan very soon. What is the back row? Were they just all bluffs and now he can just flip them all one at a time to gain mass advantage? Gonna go flip a terraforming and another union hanger, keep going off? I don't know. But if there's a twin twister, I probably would have done it already during the end phase to pop the 2 back row and then basically go off and try and OTK from there. It's actually pretty easy to OTK from this situation where you can just special summon the B Buster Drake. Get yourself another attachment. That's one way you can do it. Or then you can normal summon again and just keep going off from there. So both players being extremely cautious. Like neither of these players don't want to underestimate each other because I guess both players are pretty well known, especially Squiddy. Squiddy's really well known in the community, and I guess it's a bit of a privilege to play against Chansey. So normal summon ASL Core. 2 cards in hand on Ryan's side, going into a search. So ABC definitely is an existing card, no system down, unless that is a system down in Chansey's hand, and he's been unable to play it thanks to the Buster Drake. Whoa. Are we gonna see an epic comeback, or are we gonna see Ryan just completely just dominate this turn? So equips a Sea Crush Wyvern onto the ASL core. Okay. Overlay the 2. Let me see some Diamond Dire action. Diamond Dire has been summoned. Crush Wyvern and B Buster Drake has been activated. The Chainlink 1, Crush Wyvern, Chainlink 2 by B Buster Drake. Now, of course, Ryan must already have a target to do this, of course. He should have a target. Yeah, he does, and he just reveals the target to the camera. He does have a target to actually summon us, so that play is absolutely legal. No questions asked. And he's gonna go pop one of the back rows. See, that's actually one play that a lot of people have to be very, very careful about. And it's actually not too hard to catch on to some people like to set their entire hand, because like it is like one thing that I noticed that some people try to do at regionals in Seattle, where they just try to activate it just because the chain link allowed it, or they're trying to get away with knowing the fact that you cannot activate the Crush Wyvern. This is something that we announced at the very beginning of the tournament. You cannot assume that your opponent is cheating. You have to have reasonable doubt to call a judge over for that specific play, or else you're just wasting the judge's time. So the back row has been popped. It was a full Metalfoes fusion. That was a definite bluff. Now, does Chansey have a legitimate back row on the other side? Let's hope so. If that is a solemn strike, that would be ideal. Solemn warning, not too bad as well. Maybe a bottomless trapple, pretty good too. Of course, the Diamond Dire has to die because it can only have targeted himself as the other target. And we're going to see a banishing of the A, B, and C monsters to summon out ABC Dragon Buster. Chansey has response? No response? Oh boy. No response. The ABC Dragon Buster is going to tip the scales now. For sure. Oh. Are we gonna start seeing some of this back row flipping action? I don't know. Okay, 2 cards in Ryan's hand definitely can... Is he trying to actually just OTK Chansey from here on out? So he's gonna go with the banishing, discarding the C Crush Wyvern as cost. Banishing the back row. Oh, the Metalfoes fusion has been banished. Ooh boy. But I think Chansey runs 2 copies of this, so it shouldn't be too bad losing that card. Hopefully not, but the ABC Dragon Buster is still on the field. Lots of pressure on Ryan right now. Or sorry, lots of pressure coming from Ryan onto Chansey. Ooh boy. He's gonna swing with the A and then swing for 3,000. So 5,000 to 8,000. Does Ryan have an instant fusion to push it even further? I don't know. I don't think so. So he's going to equip the ABC with a Assault Core. Oh, players are now in turn. We're now in time. This is time turn 1. One card in hand, Ryan's side. That just means he has the ability to use ABC Dragon Buster right now. And since it's the main phase and nothing happened to... Oh, is that system down? That's 1,000 life points off of Chansey for paying for the system down. But that will get rid of ABC Dragon Buster, the C Crush Wyverns in the grave. And, well, that's going to be pretty brutal. No, the ASL core will be in the graveyard. That's pretty good, unless there's a Scramble Union. Special summon Gofu? Oh, wow, what a comeback. This matters quite a bit. Gofu will be generating out 2 tokens. Oh, that's pretty awesome tokens. Bandai Yu-Gi-Oh cards as tokens. That's pretty epic. Is that Polly and Can't tell if that's a Blue Eyes or a Red Eyes. I can't tell. Not from where I'm standing right now. Chansey needs to go off. Unfortunately, you cannot synchro with those tokens, tribute those tokens, or anything. Too bad. Passes turn with the Gofu wall. He's trying not to die. If there's a Scramble Union, or better yet, you know, Magnet Reverse that we've seen in Game 1, that's going to change, that's just going to flip the tables back again to Ryan. So Ryan right now needs to reestablish all his setup because he did lose a lot of ABC monsters. Like, his banish pile is huge. And we still have not seen him flip any of his back rows, so it kind of begs the question whether or not they are indeed bluffs or legitimate threats. Oh boy. It's an instant fusion. Well. Turn 2 instant fusion. Special summon out the ASL core. Is he not have Union Hanger targets? I don't think he has Union Hanger targets right now. He must have banished most of his Union Hanger targets. Or at least the ones that can actually attach onto the ASL core. normal summon out the silver gadget. Now you can overlay all of them into Bujinki Amaterasu and special summon your guys back out. I'm just kidding. That would be very awkward because I'm not sure if he actually runs that card in his extra deck anyway. So he's gonna go with the attack, kill off one token, kill off the Gofu. Gofu must die. Never let a Gofu live on the field ever. Because as a tuner, he will wreck you completely. Okay, we're gonna go into a Castel, spin away the Silvered. Okay. Both players not able to fully combo off, but it's alright. They're playing their best, of course. Draws into a Volflame, but with 2 back row. What are they? The spells, what are they? Now turn 3, are we gonna get a game where we just finish in time? Oh boy. Right now Chansey is quite behind in life and he needs to step it up. He's gonna pass turn. He's gonna try to go off with one big combo at the end, perhaps? Oh, terraforming. Terraforming. Basically playing into that Union Hanger. Union Hanger will search. Is that another ASL core? No, it's not an ASL core. Oh no. So it's turn 4. It is a Buster Drink, so okay, that's pretty neat. Get a swing over that, attack with the 15 and the 2000. Chancy's final turn. This will be it. Are we gonna get an overlay? We're getting an overlay from Ryan. Is going to Rafflesia. Wow. That basically secures it. Ooh. Oh, Chansey offers a handshake. There's no way he can come back from this in time with the real legit back row. Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike. Unfortunately, it's time, and the Chansey does take the loss. So congratulations, Ryan, for winning that round. It just shows to you, like, 2 big players going against each other. They know their skills, they know their stuff, they know how to kill you, they just go for it, and these are the games that we got. And I guess that's it for now. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more content from MST.TV, please subscribe. I'm still trying to recover. And as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV. It is near the end of the year, so guess what's happening? I'm going to do more giveaway for you guys, because you guys like our giveaways so much. But this time is going to be the biggest giveaway yet, because this is going to be 10 mats total. We got 10 mats given away.